Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your May Astrological Overview. So we're coming into May. I put out these reports early so that we can get a heads up on the upcoming astrology. And it's interesting to see these astrological themes playing out. When I was looking at May, saw slowing down, saw time to reassess, information overload. These reports were prepared several months ago. I really didn't realize the context that they would be playing out in, but the themes are certainly present. So I'm going to give you the rundown of what is going on astrologically in May. It's really a mixed bag. We will have some refreshing air sign energy coming in that is much needed. We've been in earth-heavy astrology much of the year. We're having some shifts that will help us to step back and see the big picture, to be open to some new possibilities. The biggest shift coming up is the North Node moving from Cancer to Gemini on May the 6th. The North Node is a guiding force in our planet. If you are fans of Astrology for the Soul, which I hope you are, Jan Spiller's amazing book about the North Node and its importance in the birth chart, you kind of get the gist of it in your personal life. It also has overarching themes when it changes signs for the globe. And so we've had the North Node in Cancer. This has been a good thing the past year and a half. You know, it brings out home and family, that kind of security, looking out for each other. Those themes will still be there. But what's going to happen May the 6th through January 18th, 2022, so the next year and a half, North Node in Gemini, is a lot more about information, staying connected over social media is one of the big themes that I saw with this. We do have to watch out to avoid information overload under this astrology, but it is very useful for staying connected, for exchanging information quickly, and for being up to date as things are changing quickly, which is so important. So on a big scale, we're going to get assistance from this North Node in Gemini as far as keeping our finger on the pulse. And just remember, you got to take some breaks from information gathering too. It will be there for you. So the other big astrology coming up is Venus retrograde this month. As we're going to have a couple outer planet retrogrades that I'll mention, but we really feel these inner planet retrogrades more personally. Venus goes retrograde about every 18 months. It's going to go retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Again, more air sign energy. That's going to be May 13th. It's a shorter cycle through June 24th. We've already possibly been feeling this due to what's known as the shadow phase. And Venus retrograde is all about reviewing things to do with money or our relationships, matters of the heart. If you watch these monthly overviews, you probably heard me mention that. Last month we were coming into this. When Venus is retrograde, it's not a great time to make big decisions that involve your heart or your wallet. It's better put things on hold, be conservative, make temporary plans. That's very fitting for what's going on right now. And it's a good time for you to get clear with yourself. Venus is about self-worth. What is it that you need in a relationship? What is it you need to heal from? What words do you need to express, or do you need expressed to you? These are all Venus retrograde and Gemini themes. Now, right in the middle of the month, we have a couple outer planets that will be going retrograde. We've got Saturn going retrograde in Aquarius, May 11th, and that will last till September 29th. I will be posting some videos I did about Saturn's move into Aquarius in March. We're getting a little sneak preview of that astrology, and it's pretty significant because Saturn only changes signs every 2.5 years. But basically when Saturn is retrograde, it helps us to recognize our limitations. Now that's a big theme right now. And it can give us a new perspective when suddenly we have some different limitations on us It can cause us to do more brainstorming, research unconventional solutions. Aquarius is the sign of innovation and invention. So keep that in mind for Saturn retrograde. We've got a Jupiter retrograde that starts on May the 14th. That's in the sign of Capricorn. This Jupiter retrograde will go to September 13th. And it's within 2 degrees of Pluto. Jupiter's been traveling very closely. They were exactly together in what's known as a conjunction last month. What that does is magnify things that have been hidden beneath the surface. So in this case, it's kind of magnifying the underbelly of certain systems. We're able to see now we're in a time where it's a crisis going on, and it exposes the weaknesses in our structures, systems, what needs to be supported so that when there are emergencies, when people need to come together, what does our medical system need? This is global in any country. So that's the astrology for this time period. It's really highlighting that so it can be identified. Personally, it's definitely about identifying our own areas that need improvement and growth, and how we can stop some self-sabotaging behaviors. Maybe we will be way more aware of where we've been in denial. So that's the big outer planet astrology. We're going to have a full moon on May the 7th. That's in the sign of Scorpio. This can highlight intimate relationships. It also has to do with shared resources. So the good news for the Scorpio full moon is you can get a lot more clarity on these issues. Even though we're coming into Venus retrograde, May the 7th, it hasn't officially gone retrograde, you might be able to get that clarifying moment around the full moon that will help, again, with maybe at least a temporary plan that has to do with shared resources or a close partnership. Now, on the new moon, that will be May the 22nd. This is a Gemini new moon. Even in the midst of retrogrades, it's still important to set those new moon intentions every month. Gemini new moon supports any intentions related to communications, learning, marketing, making connections, staying connected with neighbors and your close proximity. This is a great time to reach out through email, online, see if your neighbors and friends are doing okay. What can you do in our circumstances? There's still a lot that can be done to help others or help them feel that they're not alone. So be sure and make the most of this month's astrology. I'm really happy to be presenting, in addition to these monthly overviews, horoscopes for all 12 signs. And if you'd like to read some more in-depth articles about all the upcoming astrology, I encourage you to go to janspiller.com and become a member for a low monthly fee. All the proceeds are helping to keep Jan Spiller's legacy going. That was her wish, that her website could remain as a resource for everybody, and I'm really proud to be continuing that and sending you well wishes for the month of May, and I will see you back here next month with your monthly overview.